is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. The Deputy Prime Minister defending the government's tourism efforts. Chester Cooper insisting that more rooms are needed to grow stopover numbers. The Bahamas improving its ranking on the Corruption Perception Index. And what the Director of Public Prosecutions says about laws and how they prosecute cases. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, February 13th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be here today, filling in for Laverne Gardner, who was here yesterday. Also this morning, Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and the Ministry of Health and the National HIV/AIDS Program wants you to know your status. They are doing their HIV Valentine's Day couple testing under the theme Share Love, Not HIV. Today, we'll get all the details about that this morning. That's all ahead. And what do you need to know about the government's partnership with SpaceX in Morning Blend Business? But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you were sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, shooting down criticisms about stagnant air arrivals, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism Chester Cooper saying that in order to grow stopover visitor numbers, there must be an increase in hotel rooms. Cooper responding to FNM leader Michael Pintard, who said the government needs to focus on growing stopover visitors. Last week, Cooper announced that at the end of 2024, the country recorded a record-breaking 11.22 million overall foreign air and sea arrivals, surpassing the previous year's number by 16.2%, and 2019 figures by 54.7%. Foreign air arrivals across all destinations equaled 1.72 million arrivals in 2023 and surpassed 1.67 million foreign air arrivals in 2019 by 3.3%. Outside Parliament, Pintard said that any increase in numbers was good, but, quote, we don't want to make the mistake of substituting stopover visitors who suddenly, over time, become cruise visitors. And that is essentially what has happened when you look at what has happened in terms of the numbers. But in response, Cooper saying the government is doing what it can to attract more visitors, saying, quote, we are limited in room capacity. Maybe the leader of the opposition can go and invest in some hotels and encourage others if he wishes to be helpful, but I think the government is doing its part. Prime Minister Philip Davis' mum on the issue of marital rape. Davis was asked yesterday to respond to criticism from FNM Senator Michael Barnett Ellis that his administration isn't, quote, brave enough to criminalize marital rape. The Prime Minister, who was walking inside Parliament yesterday, turned and looked at the reporter who asked the question, smiled, and gave a thumbs up before disappearing inside the House of Assembly. On Monday, Barnett Ellis, who was speaking in the Senate, chastised the Davis administration for not moving forward with criminalizing marital rape. After the government side moved to postpone question time, which is scheduled for every second Wednesday of every month, Leader of the Opposition Business in the House, Adrian Dwight, suggested that the cabinet rationale that cabinet ministers need more time to prepare for was a conflict, given that the executive and legislative branches are intended to function independently. White also asked the cabinet to advise the opposition on which questions it intends to answer at the next sitting. A geography teacher at R.M. Bailey Senior High School granted $5,000 bail after he denied inappropriate contact with a student. 45-year-old Franklin Donaldson is accused of indecently assaulting a 15-year-old boy by brushing his butt. The incident allegedly happened on February 3rd while they were both alone in a classroom. As a condition of bail, Donaldson is required to sign in at the Grove Police Station. His trial is scheduled to begin on March 20th before Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vogt Evans. He faces a potential maximum sentence of 3 years imprisonment if convicted. A 20-year-old man charged with murder, Javallo Price, is accused of stabbing Falcon Clark to death on February 3rd. The incident allegedly happened on Augusta Street. Price was not required to enter a plea to the murder charge yesterday when he appeared before Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vogt Evans. He was denied bail and the matter was adjourned to May 12th. And the trial of an American housewife accused of plotting to murder her estranged husband rescheduled again. Lindsay Shiver, her boyfriend Terrence Bethel, and Ferron Newbold Jr. will now be tried in August for an alleged plan to kill Robert Shiver. This is due to the ongoing trial of F&M politician Adrian Gibson and 4 others. The matter was set for March, but the judge and defense lawyers are busy with the Gibson bribery and money laundering trial. Shiver is accused of encouraging Bethel and Newbold to kill her husband in 2023. The Shivers have a home in Baker's Bay. And the Bahamas improving its ranking on Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index, receiving a score of 65 out of 100, an improvement over 2023 score of 64. The ranking put the Bahamas as 28th in the world, tying with the United States, whose score dropped from 69 in 2023 to 65. The CPI ranks 180 countries and territories worldwide by their perceived levels of public sector corruption. Results are given on a scale of 0, which is highly corrupt, to 100, very clean. Denmark topping the list overall with a 90. Finland and Singapore rounded out the top 3 with scores of 88 and 84, respectively. In the Americas region, Uruguay at 76, Canada at 75, and Barbados at 68 were the top scorers. Haiti at 16, Nicaragua at 14, and Venezuela at 10 received the lowest scores in the Americas. Overseas, several NATO allies stressing today that Ukraine and Europe must not be cut out of any peace negotiations, as U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth denied that the United States is betraying the war-ravaged country. European governments are reeling after the Trump administration signaled that it is planning face-to-face talks with Russia on ending the Ukraine war without involving them, insisting that Kyiv should not join NATO, and saying that it's up to Europe to protect itself and Ukraine from whatever Russia might do next. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius saying, quote, "It's clear that Europe must be involved in the negotiations." And I think that's very easy to understand, saying that Europe is supposed to play a central or one of the main roles in maintaining peace. Meanwhile, Hegseth denied that the U.S. has betrayed Ukraine by launching negotiations about its future without Kyiv's full involvement. After talks with Putin and then Zelensky, Trump said on Wednesday he would probably meet in person with the Russian leader in the near term, possibly in Saudi Arabia. Hegseth warned that the war in Ukraine must be a wake-up call for NATO's European allies to spend more on their own defense budgets. And many migrants have been left stranded in Mexican border cities after the Trump administration immediately canceled tens of thousands of appointments made through a government app called CBP One that offered a legal pathway to the U.S. Some have returned to their countries. The Trump administration has given no indication that it plans to replace the Biden administration program. And a fire at a Rio de Janeiro factory that produces costumes for the city's iconic carnival has left 10 people hospitalized. The incident casting a shadow over preparations for one of the world's biggest shows. The victims were rushed away in ambulances and admitted to the hospital for burns to their airways after inhaling toxic smoke. 8 are in serious condition, while 2 are stable. Around 90 firefighters battled the blaze, rescuing 21 people. Firefighters rescued workers that were stuck on the top floor by cutting the steel windows and placing a ladder for them to descend. Associated Press videos show them descending as black smoke billowed from the building. The state civil defense has completely closed off the factory and the annex building as the fire has caused damage to the structure and it could collapse. It's time for sports, brought to you by Kalik. The Kingsway Academy Saints are the senior girls basketball champions in the BAISS, the Bahamas Association of Independent Secondary Schools. They blasted the St. John's College Giants 35-12 at the Kendall Isaacs Gym Wednesday, sweeping the best-of-3 championship 2 games to none. The other 3 series will go on to decisive third games at the Kendall Isaacs Gym today. In the junior girls division, the C.W. Saunders Cougars defeated the Giants 41-39 in overtime, tying that series at a game apiece. The Giants junior boys bounced back against the Prince William Falcons, winning 41-35 to tie that series at a game apiece. And the Queens College Comets senior boys defeated the Giants 57-53, evening their series at a game apiece. For Major League Baseball, Alex Bregman and the Boston Red Sox have agreed to a $120 million 3-year contract. That's according to a person familiar with the deal, speaking to the Associated Press Wednesday night. The person speaking on condition of anonymity, as the agreement is subject to a successful physical. Bregman can opt out after the 2026 and 2027 seasons to become a free agent again. He might need to shift from third base to second with the Red Sox, who already have all-star slugger Rafael Devers at the hot corner. A 2-time All-Star and 2-time World Series champion during 9 years with Houston, the 30-year-old Bregman is coming off one of his poorest offensive seasons. Bregman has 19 postseason home runs, tied for 6th in Major League history. He was selected by Houston with the 2nd overall pick in the 2015 amateur draft, making his big league debut a year later. He had 4 homers and 10 RBIs in the postseason as the Astros won their first World Series title, a championship marred when a Major League Baseball investigation revealed the team used banned electronics to steal opponents' signs. And from the NBA, the only thing hotter than Jamal Murray's jumper on Wednesday night might have been his temper. The Denver guard was still carrying a grudge against the Portland Trail Blazers over being ejected for some trash talking on Monday. Facing them again 2 days later, Murray let his play do his chirping with a career-best 55 points as the Nuggets beat the Trail Blazers 132-121. More from the NBA. The Golden State Warriors known for their electrifying players and superstar Stephen Curry, but now the team is pioneering a fresh game plan, blending sports and entertainment in a way no NBA franchise has done before. As the first and only NBA team with its own record label, Golden State Entertainment, the Warriors are expanding their reach with For the Soil, a new album released this week. The project featuring Bay Area top music artists from E40, Too Short, Saweetie, and G-Eazy, and more, arriving just in time for the league's All-Star Game weekend. Well, perhaps they should be focusing on the NBA and playing because they lost to the Dallas Mavericks as Kyrie Irving scored 42 points and took a charge in the closing seconds. Klay Thompson added 17 against his former team, and the undersized Mavericks beat Golden State 111-107. Kawhi Leonard scoring 25 points. James Harden and Norman Powell each had 18 points, and the LA Clippers beat the Memphis Grizzlies 128-114. Leonard played a season-high 34 minutes, with all of his 30-minute games coming in the last 3 of his contests. That's sports, and that's the Overnight, brought to you by Kalik, the Bear of the Bahamas, inviting you to Victory Fest 2025. March 1st at Smuggler's Square for an epic celebration of the 2024 Boxing Day and 2025 New Year's Day Junkanoo winners, the Saxon Superstars. The Junkanoo season may be over, but the celebration is just getting started. Celebrate the 4 straight Junkanoo winners, Saxon Superstars, Saturday, March 1st at Smuggler's Square, and Kalik, the Bear of the Bahamas. Time for your first good weather, brought to you by Grosvenor Medical Center. We've got a broad ridge of high pressure stretching across the area. That's going to continue to influence weather across the Bahamas, maintaining moderate to locally strong breezes and stable conditions through tonight. We do have a near gale watch in effect for the southeast Bahamas. Small craft operators are urged to remain in port in that area. And we are expecting a weak cold front to slide near the northern Bahamas by Friday, supporting some scattered showers. The front will then shift east of the islands as high pressure strengthens, generating fresh to strong breezes into the weekend. But changes coming for early next week. We'll tell you more about that in just a bit. Beachgoers and swimmers urged not to get into the waters in the eastern, southern, and Atlantic shorelines of the central and southeast Bahamas, and to exercise caution across the rest of the area. We are expecting moderate to high risks of rip currents and locally rough surf. For today, for most areas, partly mostly sunny and warm, becoming fair and mild tonight. Only about a 10% chance of showers across the area. Winds southeast to south at 15 to 20 knots, falling to 10 to 15 knots by midday today for the northern islands. And east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots, and gusty at times for the central and southeast Bahamas. High temperatures today around 83, 84 Fahrenheit. That's about 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 69, 70 Fahrenheit. 20 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your Valentine's Day forecast coming up in just a bit. This first look at weather brought to you by Grosvenor Medical Center. Screening for colorectal cancer should begin at the age of 45. Reduce your risk for colon cancer and schedule your colonoscopy today at reduced prices for the months of March and April at the office of Dr. Harold Munnings. Located next to Princess Margaret Hospital, they're offering an even lower price for those who present their NHI cards. Give them a call today, 328-5550. That's Grosvenor Medical Center.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news, smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
The Water and Sewage Corporation is rolling out new digital meters designed to give you more accurate readings. With advanced technology, you'll be able to monitor your water usage in real time, get more accurate bills and early leak detection to avoid costly surprises. Better service starts now. Watch for our installation to your neighborhood and get ready to experience the convenience of digital meters. Follow us on our social media platforms for more information. Digital meters from the Water and Sewage Corporation. Innovative, convenient, and designed for you.
Spain sounds like this. But with a little Caribbean, it can sound like this. The world needs more Caribbean. And with FedEx, you can ship your products to every corner. With increased cargo capabilities, 24/7 shipment tracking, and shipping tools, take your business worldwide and enjoy life a bit more like us.
Bahamas. Join Sherwin Gardner for the Find Me Here album launch on February 28th, 7 p.m. at Bahamas Harvest Church, JFK Plaza. Featuring from the USA, Kalante Gavin and Kateri B, and Positive from TNT. This will be one epic night full of blessings. Get tickets at a live events app or Bahamas Harvest Church and SherwinGardner.com. A blessing's gonna find you here. Powered by Alive.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Chester Robards. Chester Robards, good morning.
Good morning.
Hope all's well.
All's well.
You weren't with us yesterday.
No.
You had something to do.
Lots.
Sure. Well, we have a lot to talk about this morning. Coming up, hey, Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Hope you're ready for that. And also, just in time for Valentine's Day, you should know your status, right? The National HIV/AIDS Program is doing their HIV Valentine's Day couple testing today. The theme is Share Love, Not HIV. We'll get details about that this morning. And then... You're about to say something. No.
So you're getting tested as a couple?
Why not?
I mean, you don't have to go together, obviously, but that's the idea.
You might want to. But hey, later in business, SpaceX and space tourism. What's that all about? We're going to be find out more information. I believe you were at that press conference yesterday as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can maybe provide some insight into what's happening here. We'll get
Sure.
into that and more in our business hour.
I can put on my rocket scientist hat.
Thank you very much. That's all ahead, but let's talk about what else is in the news. So a couple things before we get to two big stories we want to focus on this morning in the newspapers today. So this is interesting. In the NASA Guardian, Prime Minister Mum on marital rape criticism. He was asked to respond to Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis and her comments about the Davis administration not being brave enough to tackle marital rape, to criminalize marital rape. So the Prime Minister was asked about this outside Parliament yesterday as he was walking inside the House. And he looked at, according to this article, he turned and looked at the reporter who asked the question, smiled, and gave a thumbs up. So there,
Mentos, the fresh maker.
I assume they're asking, hey, Prime Minister, Senator Michael Barnett Ellis says you're not brave enough to criminalize marital rape. Turns, smiled, thumbs up, and they go inside. Is that how it went?
Is there a video?
What does that mean?
I want to put that song to it.
Is that what it means? Yes, that's right. Oh, boy. Well, there you go. There you have it. Wow. Also, the Bahamas improves its ranking on the Corruption Perception Index. This is the annual, is it annual, right? Yes, Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index. We're now at 65 out of 100, improving from last year's 64. We've gone up, and up is better, not more corrupt. That means the perception, you're perceived to be by the people of the country
We're climbing the golden staircase.
Yes, away from corruption. Zero is super
out of corruption hell.
That's right. You're ascending away from corruption. And that ties us with the United States, my lord. Yes, so we're really, kind of mid-pack in this ranking. Denmark is up there, as in that's good. 90 Denmark is excelling at almost everything, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Finland and Singapore rounding out the top three.
Naturally.
Yes. It's always the same. The usual suspects.
But they got things together, so naturally other things would be together too.
Wonder how come they have it and some of us don't.
The people smile at each other.
The people in Denmark are also high on the happiness index.
Yeah.
And
they wear lederhosen. Maybe that's what we're missing.
Perhaps.
I don't know if they're actually.
In the Americas, Uruguay is 76, Canada 75, and Barbados 68. But we're not too far behind.
Uruguay. I should go visit that place.
Yeah, exactly. So Haiti at 16 on the low end, Nicaragua 14, and Venezuela. Oh boy.
So who's the
10.
lowest? Some place in Africa again?
Let's see. So let's keep reading. With a regional average score of 42, Transparency International said the Americas must take urgent action to control corruption, noting that widespread corruption thwarts efforts to fight climate change and could lead to environmental harm. Corruption is strongly intertwined with one of the biggest challenges humanity currently faces, climate change. Huge numbers of people around the world suffer severe consequences of global heating, as funds intended to help countries cut greenhouse gas emissions and protect vulnerable populations are stolen or misused. Wow. We'll have to go on the list and see. I don't see what the bottom one is there. But this is coming at, as we learned that, and we were told about this yesterday by Org Bahamas, that the Davis administration, which they did yesterday, tabled a bill to protect people who report unlawful or unethical activities within public and private organizations. So that's the Whistleblower Act that we've been hearing about for so long. So that's good. We're going to have more on that over the next few days on this show and on Guardian Radio as we partner with Org Bahamas to talk about these things. So that is some good stuff, and hopefully that's going to help us to get higher on this list. You do want to be high on this one, unlike other lists where if you're near the top.
You can't get some technocrats who may have worked on it to come and talk.
What do you think? Do you think they would come? Have you ever heard of that happening?
Will they be allowed?
Has that ever happened in your
Maybe
history?
they
as a
would love
journalist?
to come, but the person that they ask, may I go, might say no.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. Thank you for that, Chester. Thank you. I mean, again, as just trying to ask you, ever heard of that happening?
I said might say no. I don't know.
Okay. So those are interesting stories. We're going to get to this in a bit. DPM defends government's tourism efforts. He says it's because we don't have enough rooms. That's why we don't have more stopover visitors.
Right.
We've been talking about this for about a week. This time, because we talk about this all the time.
Okay.
But in the last week, it's come up quite a bit. We've been saying we just don't have enough for people to do if you've never been here before. And that if we had more attractions, it would be a different story.
Right.
And that needs to be an ongoing exercise to provide something new, not relying on the hotel to have a new nightclub named for some international superstar, but to have something uniquely Bahamian every year, something amazing happening, experiences and attractions, which we have a challenge with. So we'll get to that in a bit. There is an interesting story in the Nassau Guardian, as always, but also in the Tribune today that I want to read. This is in the Tribune. So, Fraser, sex crime was heinous, but prosecutors bound by laws. That's Public Prosecutions Director Cordell Fraser. So the article says, Public Prosecutions Director Cordell Fraser defended her department's sentencing recommendation in a controversial child molestation case, stressing that prosecutors are bound by the law and legal principles, which require them to consider sentencing guidelines. A mandatory 1/3 reduction for early guilty pleas. Got that, everybody? A mandatory 1/3 reduction for early guilty pleas. And a defendant's lack of prior convictions when making recommendations to the court. And Wayne Monroe has said that before, as well as National Security Minister. Her comments to the Tribune following public backlash from activists and religious leaders who said the 5-year prison sentence given to a father who had molested his twin 4-year-old daughters, they were 3 at the time, was too lenient. Prime Minister Philip Davis also said he believed the offense warranted a life sentence. But that's not even an option for what this man was charged with, right? Even though National Security Minister Wayne Monroe told reporters that Davis mistakenly believed the case was about incest when he commented publicly on the issue. I believe the man was charged with indecent assault.
Incest is a different charge.
Yes.
That's what I was.
Right. Now, you could get life if you have sex with a minor relative, right? If you have unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor relative,
right,
you could get life for that. But he was only charged with indecent assault. That faces a maximum of 8 years if tried on information and 3 years if tried summarily.
Right.
While the man's defense attorney had recommended a 4-year sentence, an outcome with which the prosecution agreed, the judge rejected the suggestion and imposed a 5-year term. Despite the slightly harsher penalty, advocacy groups widely condemned the sentence, arguing that it sent the wrong message about the gravity of such crimes. So, Fraser acknowledged that the convict's actions were heinous and a total breach of trust. She said defendants who plead guilty early are entitled to a 1/3 reduction in sentencing under law. How do you feel about that? She also cited other mitigating factors, including the convict's lack of prior criminal history and his expression of remorse. She said, "We treat every sexual assault case with due urgency and seriousness. Hence, one would note that this matter was expedited. The events of the case occurred in July 2024. We recommended 4 years in accordance with established legal precedents, but ultimately the court has the authority to impose a higher sentence." She added that the prosecution's recommendation was based on the Court of Appeals ruling in the incest and indecent assault case of Steve Bain, when a 3-year sentence was upheld after trial. Saying, quote, "We renew our commitment to upholding the rule of law and defending victims of all crimes, especially those against children." She also explained why the father was not charged with incest, noting that penetration did not occur. This is what we theorized earlier in the week on the show. So the characterization of the offense as molestation can reasonably lead to the inference that sexual intercourse occurred. That did not happen. All right, so let's get your reaction to that. Once again, this goes back to what people were saying. Lawmakers can change this. If they feel that 8 years is not enough, that there should be a higher maximum sentence, perhaps they should consider that. Will they? Will they, especially after hearing all of that? I doubt that's going to change. I doubt anything's going to change. And every few weeks we'll get a politician saying, "Oh, this is horrible," but they won't do anything about it.
Yeah. They'll have to do a big overhaul. I mean, they have to go through everything.
People have been saying that for years.
Yeah.
Lots of these laws are from the early 20th century, if not 19th.
Yeah.
But we need to go through everything and really try to figure out whether this makes sense in our world today.
Yeah.
Let's hear from you. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796.
I don't know if it's just being in news, but do you feel like over the last year there's been an increase in these types of assaults?
No, not really.
I feel like we've talked about this on the radio much more in the last 12 months than ever before since I've been on this show.
Yeah.
It just keeps coming up.
I think it's the same amount, same number.
More people getting caught. I mean,
I think we're more aware, heightened awareness. I'm not sure, but I think it's always been this bad.
The scary and lost statistic is how much of it is not being reported.
That is true. That is very true.
And somebody, I don't know if somebody said this recently, but there are family members who know this stuff is going on and are quiet about it. And sleep at night.
Been the case from that time.
With their thumbs in their mouths. Can you imagine?
Wow. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Chester. Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Not your finger in your mouth, though. Sucking fingers.
Gotta be.
Motto. Hey, so, with the thing with Miss Fraser, right? To call her the chief prosecutor or something like that?
Director of Public Prosecution.
Director of Public Prosecution. I hear what she had to say, Dwight. I'm not a lawyer. You're not a lawyer. But I had to be, just like a lot of us behemoths, in agreement with you. I think that was Monday or yesterday or something, when you suggested, someone please tell the Prime Minister that he's in a position to change the law. One of the things you keep mentioning, the words you keep mentioning, which was reading just now, is the law. Sound like Ms. Fraser keep relating, pointing out that they doing what the law say.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
if you ain't faking and you serious, Mr. Prime Minister, and it ain't all about your law firm or your all, what you say, criminal attorney, not criminal lawyer, say, Dwight? Criminal attorney? If he's serious, it ain't all about the money and them using the loopholes, what they've been doing for years. That's their job, I guess, as a defense attorney.
Criminal
yes.
defense attorney, yeah.
Yes, yes, it's their job doing it. If you're serious, Mr. Prime Minister, stop talking because we think you're faking. You all rush you and former Prime Minister rush plenty things in that Parliament when it was serious to you all, the law, either the United States or someone commanded you. Well, the people.
But again, in his defense, and so a lot of people were wondering.
No, Dwight, put
right?
your mouth close to the phone. Not going just now. When you say a lot of people, what?
A lot of people were thinking this was incest, a sexual intercourse charge, right? But it was sexual assault. It wasn't. It wasn't. As
it wasn't
she
rape
said.
or nothing.
Well,
nothing to do sexual. And
it
I
was
think-
sexual, but it wasn't. There wasn't penetration, and
Yes,
that
it
would
was penetration.
that
So,
would
Dwight,
open
maybe
it up
Ms.
to a
Fraser could
different.
come on the
matter.
show one of these times. When I hear you say you could talk about it, I don't know if you just read or they coming on a business hour, but they need to come down here. Or she sent one of us. I don't know if the word is subordinate. Someone underneath her.
I'm sure it's not
To
that.
come here and explain it to us what's indecent assault is from rape and all that stuff. Because plenty people, smart people, who they say, oh, the man raped his two daughters, he raped the two twins, and that ain't what it's saying sound like.
Well,
I ain't no lawyer, but it ain't sound like he raped no one. What he do might be punishable, and it's crazy, and it's not hard to believe, because this world getting worse right now. You don't want to believe these kind of dumb things, the 3-year-old and stuff like that. So the prosecution office need to maybe come and explain to us, who mightn't be as smart as them, why you all do what you do. But the Prime Minister should know. He's a lawyer. He's the Prime Minister. He should know the loopholes they be using.
Well,
Change it.
again, okay.
Say that again.
All right, thanks a lot, Papa.
Dwight.
Hey.
Dwight, I was trying to say something about tourism. Yes, I agree that we don't have enough entertainment and stuff, and we need to do more with entertainment. So when the guests them come, they could do. But these said who coming more with the cruise ship and stuff like that. The people who waiting on the money to make it from tourism, they say they ain't spending enough. They say the people who's come on the plane, although we don't have enough activities for them, they stay a little longer and they spend more. Now this thing with the SpaceX thing, just in case I don't get a chance and you talk about it, Dwight, I don't think we're getting enough for the money. They talking about $15 million by 2030. These guys, they were doing these business around the world in the United States. They spending billions of dollars in by 2030. That should have been billions, not 1 billion, billions of dollars. Then they give them 1 million to the College of the Bahamas. That should have been 10 million. Why do we play with these people? It make us feel like, who dumb. Like someone getting something under the table, because you can't be that stupid to talk with 15 million by 2030 when it should be billions. This is a serious thing they doing. They're supposed to be charging these people billions of dollars. If they don't want to pay it, let them go somewhere else. The Bahamas is a blessed place. Make these people pay, man.
Okay, all right. So we are definitely going to talk more about that in the 9 o'clock hour. I just suspect, I don't know. Chester, when we get there, you'll explain maybe. We're not really doing anything, right?
Nothing spectacular.
So, I guess you're lucky to get even
we're getting
anything.
We're getting way more than the airlines that flying over every day. Anyway.
So maybe it's been overhyped that our role is very significant, but anyway, I don't know.
This just like every other rich person who come here, they never give enough.
You're being sarcastic now.
No, I'm just saying.
What?
Behemoths think that they never give enough.
So, yeah, you're right. Okay, right. I mean, in many cases that is true, but maybe not in this one. I don't know. But we'll get to that. Let's focus, though.
The people who live on Harbor Island could take care of the people on Harbor Island. without the government. They could rebuild Harbor Island with the money that they have. They don't.
Okay.
Why don't they?
Well, I have a theory.
Okay.
It's not really their fault.
Well,
I mean,
but you
the
get the
system
point.
is
You get
just
the
not
point.
set up for that.
You get the point. Billionaires live on Harbor Island.
The whole country could be very different if the system were set up
Anyway,
differently.
understand what
It
I'm
would be
saying.
very different if we removed this centralized government system and allowed for some more autonomy.
Well,
it would
maybe that too.
encourage people with money to do more.
The wealth between Albany and Laivaki could take care of this New Providence. Why don't they? Why don't they?
Well, I don't. Anyway, we'll pick this up. We'll pick this up in our 9 o'clock hour. Let's continue to focus on this, though. So the laws, the prosecutors are saying they're bound by laws. And a lot of people were assuming, again, with that case, the teenage daughter walks in and sees her father naked standing over the girl, the 3-year-old, right? So people are assuming lots of crazy things.
Maybe he got that extra year for her seeing that.
Well, it should have been 100 years.
Yeah.
But again, you have to pay attention to the law and the legal language, right? So
Right.
the other one, which we call incest, it's unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor. And that did not happen.
Right.
It appears.
Oh, you're saying that's not what happened.
Right. That's
Yeah.
not what he was
Yeah,
charged
right.
with. He's charged with indecent assault.
Yeah.
Caller, and again, a lot of people were assuming things, and perhaps that's what the Prime Minister was thinking as well.
Right.
But in any event, some are saying 8 years as a max for indecent sexual assault is not enough. And it would send a stronger message if that were higher, if there could be a higher penalty for that.
Right. And also indecent sexual assault against your own child. So there should be another
Do you think
layer.
that's a different? Okay.
So even if you don't have penetration that's incest related, assault that's incest related should also carry a higher penalty.
Well, that's interesting. A case could be made for that. Yeah. So lawmakers, think about that too. But so are we fine with this mandatory 1/3 reduction for early guilty pleas? Are you fine with all this talk all the time about never having prior convictions? I said it the other day. Okay, so your first crime is shooting 5 people point blank. Oh, you never did anything before, so we'll give you a break. Huh? I don't know if I like this. It shouldn't be automatic. It should depend on the seriousness of the
But again,
first offense.
isn't that discretion? I mean, the judge says, "Well, you don't have any priors." Is that
sounds
is
like
that
they
is it
automatically
written?
have to do that.
Is it
It
written?
seems so. It seems so. It seems so, or at least based on precedents. They keep saying.
Well, let's see. Right, okay, precedent is, but it could be a consideration. It doesn't have to be a consideration.
I really would like to know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would like to know. I mean, right? Just because it's the first offense, come on. If it's very serious, you don't talk like this. For the love of God.
Right.
And the same thing with the 1/3 reduction. Yeah, I did it. I shot 25 people. Mm-hmm. First offense. Give me a third off. And I never did anything before. I was a librarian. I don't get it. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning to both of you.
Hi.
Bound by laws, eh? Yeah. Well, I read a judge gave a Trinidadian family of 3 for over 400 years sentence. I think the father has about 100 years. Nobody died. No one was, molested, but that particular judge wasn't bound by any law. He just used his discretion and went overboard with it. But
what did they do?
Well, they mess with migrants like a lot of high people are doing here now, promising them things, promising them Social Security numbers, just a lot of promises, and they paid for promises.
So
And
fraud
it
family.
Was,
Fraud family.
Fraud family. Yeah. Well, look, we have them here. So don't let me. I'm looking at pictures.
What do you
of
think the
somewhere-
sentence would be for an equivalent family here in the Bahamas if they
Boy,
did that?
listen. Dwight,
Will they
we're a
even
smaller
will they even
country.
be in court?
Sorry.
I'm just being troublesome.
Yeah, I know, but
that's-
it's difficult to keep up with you when you are.
Oh yeah, sure.
But may I just conclude by letting the Prime Minister know that bravery requires a little bit more courage. I think he has it, But in the absence, absence is really described as the most powerful part of what is present. So we can clearly see he has the courage to do it. We're probably not born courageous, but at some point we have to take courage because if a parent sees a child trapped underneath a vehicle, you'd be surprised as to what strength they may muster up to lift that vehicle up. The PM, take some courage, man. I mean, that's what you're there for. You got it because you've been proving it over the years on the other side of the fence. Now you on this side of the fence. Help us out, eh? Thanks.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Chester.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, man, that lady, she threw the whole parliament under the bus, in my view, right? Because we were saying this for a little while, why can't even the opposition bring some bills, but hearing what the cry of the people is, and shame the government, and say, look, y'all need to change these laws, man. Y'all can't see what's going on. It's right. You and I know that our leaders, they are not serious about nothing, right? The lady, she blatantly tell the world, our problem is the fact that ain't nobody changing the law or upgrading the law to these modern day times, right? We need to get our laws changed, right? And then I hear you saying the three top countries what have good rating is like 90 and 100 and 70 and 60, right? Do these countries have Freedom of Information Act and stuff like that?
Probably.
Because, that's possibly why we almost to 16. How far are we from 16 now?
We are at 65.
We are 65.
Out of 100.
All right, so let's look at it from this point of view. We are 65 and right? And we allowing 16 to come, right? I need you all to think about that. But the Prime Minister need to do something in this country, Dwight, because at the end of the day, the people's lives and safety is supposed to be his first priority because he was put there to ensure the safety of all Bahamians, man. You guys have a nice day.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Getting some interesting text messages. We'll get to those in a bit. Let's take this call, though. Caller, good morning. You are on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Man, good morning, Chester.
Morning.
Dwight, I can say a couple of things this morning. I usually listen to you guys every morning. And I just listen because I want some other people to call. And when we say the countries go up, plenty of people just get mad. All of those people who sign for those go up passport and stuff, we should take the house, name and shame them. He's selling this country out. You see what the Prime Minister of Britain doing? The same thing what Trump doing. Only in Bahamas we like the foreigners or the Bahamians. Foreigners come to the country get land free, everything free. But we, the taxpayers, so
free?
Bahamians, can't get nothing in this country.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing from the government.
I don't know about free.
And I talk about both government, PRPs and FNM. But go on, I see, Dwight, we wouldn't get no blessings until we retire 80% of the most of school. They increase. We will never get no blessings. My children, my grandchildren, my niece and nephew, we will never get none. So let independence say the right now. We have to fight. Dwight, and we gonna have to fight because the other people come to take it. And these people don't like Bahamians. I talk about Canadians, Philippines, everybody. People go to the United Nations. Why don't we stop giving away work permit, Dwight? Why don't we stop giving away citizenship for the time being and let's concentrate on the Bahamian people? Bahamian people, I love you. I think Glenys Adaman could be a good prime minister. She loved the Bahamas and she loved the Bahamian people. She's just like a daddy. And that's all I got to say, Dwight. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay. Well, there are answers to all of those questions you asked. And, I don't think you can stop that. If your Constitution tells you what people can do or right, hoop, which people are entitled to apply for citizenship. And I don't think you can say, just hold on a bit. We need to catch ourselves.
Right.
You could change the Constitution if you wish, but you can't say we got to pause this. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi. Good morning.
Your hats off to JJ and Papa, the passionate one. I dub Papa, the passionate one, right? As it relates to my friend, who always calls and make me laugh at his humors, critical humor. There's a new prefix. I don't know, but the word discourage, right, Dwight and Chester? It's spelled D-Y-S-C-O-U-R-A-G-E. Discourage, not D-I-S, all right? And that's what it is. John Marquis have an article in the Tribune. It says, let me see if I can remember it verbatim. Britain is a fighting society or whatever, right? And it speaks to migrants and the overwhelming influence of the deculturization, so to speak. He used the word, I've never seen the word before, the way how he spells it or whatever, but I think it's likened to ghettoized or whatever they're doing over there. And I think every Bahamian should read it because that's what we're facing. And so, as it relates to this court situation with this incest or whatever cess, right? It's cess. It's cesspit. So for me, I want to puke, right? And so it's a simple fix, you know. It's a very simple fix. Just, Dwight, you know, and you made me thought of this, all right? Because I like your humor, Dwight, your critical humor. Sometimes you make me laugh. That's some of the texts too, Dwight. So the question is, you say you killed 25 people, or this is first time, or you kill 100 people, or you kill 10, or whatever you did. You jerk up 10 people, or whatever, right? And that's your first time, so let's give them a plea deal. So it's simple, you know. Things like incest and rape of children and stuff, you should take away plea deal. Plea deals for what? If a person is caught with drugs, I could see a plea deal or some other self-defense manslaughter type thing there or something. But take away some plea deals. It just can't be a plea deal. All right, I mustn't blow up something or a building or someone intentionally or someone and a plea deal. You see what I'm saying, Dwight? It is the danger that you pose to society. You see what I'm saying, Mr. Strachan?
Absolutely.
It's very simple. Just take away the plea deals, man. Give thanks.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right, let's read some of these messages. Some of these are really good. This person says here, Dwight, in this case, I think the prosecutor got it wrong with the charges that were brought. I'm asking, can further or additional charges be brought against him, like child endangerment or abuse of a minor, instead of just the indecent assault?
The question remains why they didn't stock those things. Yeah.
But here's the problem.
They would have been concurrent.
They would have been concurrent in any event. They would have brought 25 charges against him, and all of them would be 3 years, and they'd all run concurrently. So we've got bigger problems. And if that is a law issue too, well, then the lawmakers need to fix that as well.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to be interested in changing that part of it at all. So I hear you, Texter, and I agree. But it would not have made a difference, it appears. This texter says here, the problem is that these people in authority always tell us what the law is. We want the laws changed, and that's what we send them there for. But they leave it the same because they profit from the laws the way they are. Yeah, all right. Well, they keep saying that. Everybody keeps saying that.
It reminds me, you know, the lawmakers remind me of the end of Coming to America, right? When King Joffrey Joffa says, well, he's royal blood, he has to marry, you know, somebody who's royalty. It's the law of the land.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, who am I to change it? And his wife is like, you're the king.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Duh. You do it.
But as I said a couple days ago, so if you know this, if you seriously believe, and I don't believe this, if you believe that these folks don't want to change things too much because they're thinking about what will happen when I'm out of office, and you put that person back a second time because they didn't change anything. They didn't change the things you wanted them to change the first time. You put them back, you are a problem.
Understand that the people who putting their people back don't care what you're talking about right now.
Okay, they don't win by 5, 10, 15 votes, though. I mean, right? These people are winning often in...
Then you must understand how split we are.
A lot of people are so fed up with the previous folks that they'll put the person who was there 10 years ago back. I'm saying if that person 10 years ago didn't do anything you wanted them to do, you are a problem. You've put that clown back. You think they've changed?
Well, often you only have a choice between the two Tweedles.
You could write in something else. Write in some choice words, whatever. Don't endorse foolishness. And then complain about them only in there to make sure the status quo stays. No, don't do that. Ah, boy. To my Bahamian people, we've got a lot of nerve to give back the house. What? we can demand our politicians to do their job and address the laws. I think I've misread your text, but some weird stuff was going on there. When it was being initially proposed, the 1/3 mandatory cut on sentencing was not objected to by the PLP or the FNM or even the public, though it was an obvious sign of laziness by the police, really, and indicated a preference to say case closed rather than send true justice. All optics. And now we're crying. As Americans are learning, you elected the folks who you now see hurting you. 2025 is, what does that mean? FAFO season, what's that? For all. Probably some slang thing. Elections have consequences, so stop electing incompetence. Yes. Interesting. You got to tell us what that means, though. No.
What the police have to do with that?
I don't know. I don't know about that part there, but I hear you. So someone abuses a child, and the ruling handed down will be satisfactory. How about it being their child? Same energy too. Let's see how bound by law would mean to them if it was their child.
In this case, if it was their child, might have been them. Understand? Anyway.
Dwight, who lied to that caller? The Prime Minister's job is to get... No, can't read that. What? As it relates to the courage that caller spoke about, there is a new prefix. Oh, yes, that was 52 who called him. Oh, that's what that means.
yeah. Okay,
yeah.
It makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very popular phrase nowadays.
Well, yeah, okay.
It's everywhere.
So that's what this is?
Yeah.
Do you say it F-A-F-O or do you say FAFO? How do you say it?
No, people write it out in
Yeah.
the comments under things I see, so I've never seen
Thank you.
FAFO.
Oh, everyone's texting. They all are. They all say
they all know.
Everybody knows.
Okay.
Everybody knows it's that season.
I think
Well,
people will be proud that we didn't know.
I mean, not with the Bahamas judicial system. I think you can F-A and F-O.
Fano.
And for never.
Fano.
Right.
Come on. Oh, boy.
We're going to take these calls and then go to the break. Yes. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? No. Ooh, good morning.
Yeah, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
It's a good half an hour, but it's okay. Thank you. Now, back up on the first one, the situation with the passport fraud. Unfortunately, I believe it's the people who are higher up in office that, in civil office, and it's supposed to be civil in quotation mark, that does those corruption. Because I've seen a case where a junior officer, a regular clerk, would refuse to give information to a regular citizen on information about his mother, because he didn't have the proper identification. He wasn't authorized to get information about his mother. But as I said, the bigger ones, the ones who are up top, give maybe the entire passport staff the bad name. In respect to marital rape, in effect, it is in place, but I don't know the fear of it being a law. The fear of it being a law perhaps has to do with the losing of votes. And so we have a cycle, a 5-year cycle, but the cycle may be more likely a 2.5-year cycle or a 2-year cycle, that when certain things come, when it gets close to election, sometimes certain things, even when they're pressured, may be a matter that will affect you one way or the other. And so that's the situation that we're in right now. Now, the law says that the man should get 8 years, and
that's the max.
Yeah, but I can't fathom it. I can't fathom it. Even I don't know what's wrong with the man. Something has to be wrong with the man to be molesting. Or I thought it was a father beating his child.
It's been going on from the beginning of time, though. Chester, thanks a lot for calling. Chester, I honestly believe it was worse. I truly believe it's not as bad as it used to be.
Used to be, yeah.
And it's horrible right now.
Exactly.
So there are plenty of people, thousands, people we encounter every day in this country who will tell you they were molested by a parent or a relative or a family friend. Thousands of people who had to deal with the trauma on their own and never got any help. And there was never any consequences for the person who did this to them.
Yep.
They see them every week.
Yep.
Just driving around, knowing what that person did to them.
I see people calling out people bowl on Facebook nowadays too.
It's terrible. This text as we go to break. I would simply put brave back because if someone asked me about marital rape over and over and over, I too would smile and give a thumbs up because I'm thinking, this again? Let's go to the break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
I just wanna love somebody who ain't hypnotized by dollar signs and blinding lights like they tend to be.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:28, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. So here's what's happening, folks. We've got a broad ridge of high pressure stretching across the area. That's going to influence weather across the Bahamas, maintaining locally strong breezes and stable conditions through at least tonight. We do have a weak cold front expected to slide to the northern Bahamas by Friday. That's going to support some scattered showers over that part of the country. And that front's going to shift east of the islands as high pressure strengthens, generating strong breezes into the weekend. So we've got a gale watch or a near gale watch in effect for the southeast Bahamas. Small craft operators are urged to remain in port for that area. And beachgoers and swimmers are urged not to enter the eastern, southern, and Atlantic shorelines of the central and southeast Bahamas and to exercise caution across the rest of the country due to the moderate to high risk of rip currents and locally rough surf. So for today, we're looking at partly mostly sunny and warm conditions, becoming fair to mild at night. We've got about a 10% chance of showers from most areas, but for the northern islands, rain chances will increase to 30 to 40% tonight as that front we told you about is going to be rolling through into Friday. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs near 84, 85 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 69, 70 Fahrenheit, about 20 Celsius. In your extended outlook for Friday tomorrow, partly cloudy over the northern islands, partly sunny during the day, becoming fair at night elsewhere for your Valentine's Day. By Saturday, partly sunny during the day, becoming fair at night. Pretty much the same for Sunday, although it'll be a slightly cloudier across the northern Bahamas with another front expected to move into the area, but partly cloudy conditions across the northwest and northern Bahamas and partly to mostly sunny for Monday and Tuesday of next week. That's your Morning Blend weather check. Weather check also brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Roses are red, violets are blue, EVs are green, and nicer for you. Test drive an electric vehicle at Easy Car Sales today and fall in love with an EV from Easy Car Sales. Enter for your chance to win a 2-night stay at the Grand Hyatt with a $500 resort credit. Visit easy242.com and start a new relationship today with an electric vehicle from Easy Car Sales. And time for a check of traffic brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. All right, so in your real-time traffic this morning, we're seeing some heavy traffic on West Bay Street. A number of issues there. From Saunders Beach eastbound towards the Providence Highway and the roundabout there, you'll be seeing that slow-moving traffic. But even as you are exiting that roundabout, heading into, near the Arawak Key area, you're going to be seeing slow-moving traffic straight up to Nassau Street. And there, traffic is picking up again in the downtown area. So Bay Street is busy for you. Shirley Street, very slow-moving traffic from just east of Lee Street all the way up to Duke Street and Blue Hill Road. Blue Hill Road downtown looking busy for you as well. So keep that in mind if you're in the downtown area. Seeing some slow-moving traffic on the Sydney Portier Bridge heading over to Paradise Island as well. Then we've got the usual hot spots, a six-legged roundabout, heavy eastbound traffic on the John F. Kennedy Drive side. And Milo Butler Highway, heavy traffic from Bellet Road straight through the Fire Trail roundabout all the way up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway. Back to the Fire Trail, we've got slow-moving eastbound traffic, and then Faith Avenue northbound to Fire Trail, very slow-moving traffic there. Glaston Road also busy for you from Fire Trail all the way up to John F. Kennedy Drive and Bahamar Boulevard. Carmichael eastbound to Blue Hill Road, slow-moving traffic there, and Blue Hill is backed up from St. Vincent straight up to Independence Drive if you're heading northbound. But also some slow-moving southbound traffic from just south of Soldier to about Malcolm Road at this hour. And then we've got Independence Drive backed up in both directions, east and westbound. East Street, north and south of the Soldier Road intersection, slow-moving northbound traffic. And Prince Charles Drive at the major intersections, especially heading into Robinson Road at Soldier. Very slow-moving traffic there. Eastern Road, as usual, from San Souci to Johnson Road. You're not moving. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
I've been up at Penda and I meet him in the showroom. I said, Penda, I just come out of a showroom in Portugal and let me tell you something, damn showroom and selection ain't got nothing on yours. Man, I like this stock of porcelain and ceramic tile you got here. What I really like is the range of sizes that come in, 8x48, 12x24, 24x24, and what I really like, more than the things I really like, is the price. From $275 a square foot to $494 a square foot and all in between. You can't beat that, not even with a 2x4 from Enterprises.
Fall in love with your water service this February with the Water and Sewage Corporation Sweet Savings Campaign. Pay your bill in full, order before the due date. Complete the entry form, and we'll sweeten the deal with a 5% discount on your next bill. That's right, save some sweet cash just by keeping your account current. It's simple, it's easy, and it's our way of saying thank you for being a valued customer. Don't miss out. Offer runs from February 1st to the 28th. Show your water service some love and enjoy the savings that come with it. Visit our website at wsc.com.bs today to learn more. Pay in full, save more. It's that simple with Sweet Savings. The Water and Sewage Corporation, refreshing your life with sweet savings this Valentine's Day.
on Saturday, February 22nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. The Bahamar Convention Center will set the stage for an unforgettable celebration of 25 years of giving back and supporting healthcare education in the Bahamas. Experience a night of excitement with exquisite fine dining, captivating live entertainment, and an inspiring atmosphere as we come together to celebrate and shape a brighter, healthier future. Tickets are available now. Reserve your spot today by emailing dhfoundation@doctorshost.com or calling 242-302-4640. Sponsorship opportunities are also available to show your support for this important cause. The Doctors Hospital Maya Rassin Foundation. 25 years of transforming healthcare and building a legacy. Don't miss this special celebration.
Who's there?
It's me!
Your future is knocking. Open the door to home ownership with the CIBC Caribbean Realtors Hub. Get pre-qualified for a mortgage, discover everything you need to know about buying a home, and connect with trusted realtors. Enjoy up to 95% financing, up to 35 years to repay, plus a pre-approved Visa Gold or Platinum credit card with 5,000 bonus points. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/Realtors Hub to get started today.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Alpha Sounds Promotion presents Back to Love, an unforgettable evening of smooth R&B vibes and cherished memories. Join us at the Nassau Cruise Port on Saturday, February 15th for a spectacular all-white affair featuring live performances by soul sensations Freddie Jackson,
Hey everybody, it's Freddie Jackson. I'm coming to Nassau, Bahamas, and we are looking forward to the night of love.
also performing Regina Bell. Also featuring Bahamas' very own Essence Band. Back to Love, Saturday, February 15th. It's a spectacular all-white affair at the Nassau Cruise Port. Get tickets online. BahamasEtickets.com. Plantation Bar and Grill, Big Boys Cafe, and Tropics Bar and Grill. For more info, contact 822-6863.
And I hope to see you there.
Are you ready to break up with your car? Easy Car Sales invites you to fall in love with an electric vehicle. Ditch the gas pump, the expensive mechanics. Feel the freedom, the power. Visit easy242.com and make a date to test drive an electric vehicle today. Get into a better relationship. Find your perfect match at Easy Car Sales and drive electric happily ever after.
It's the lottery of love at Everybody Wins.
I love you.
Everybody Wins is giving away over $100,000 in cash prizes in the Lottery of Love.
I love you.
All February long, every $20 spent, you'll receive a raffle ticket. The more you spend, the more chances to win. And you could be among the 30 winners randomly selected on February 28th to win $10, $20, or even $30,000.
I love you.
It's the Lottery of Love at Everybody Wins. Remember to game responsibly and get ready to win.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we could sell the product effective we have to know that product. Yeah, that
Yes,
helps us to
yes.
relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
I just woke up from a dream where you and I had to say goodbye. And I don't know what it all means, but since I survived, I realized wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Nobody's promised tomorrow, so I'ma love you every night like it's the last night, like it's the last night. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you. If the party was over and our time on earth was through, I'd wanna hold you just for a while. And die with a smile. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you.
Lost in the words that we scream. I don't even want to do this anymore.
We're back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards on this Thursday morning. We are talking about what's in the news.
It's a nice song.
Yeah.
Has a old-timey flair.
That's the type of song that you'd think would become record of the year. You know, maybe next.
No, of
maybe
course
this
not.
year. Well, not
Why
anymore
would that
now. No. What?
Whap, whap, whap,
See,
whap, whap.
Not die in your arms, like make you die.
Whap, 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 whap,
Die
whap.
without arms. That's the type of songs we're doing now. Chop off your arms so that you can die. That's where we are as a race, as a human race today. Oh boy. Anyway, okay. So we were talking about this case. Getting a lot of your reaction to it. What the director of public prosecutions is saying, that they're bound by laws. That for this sexual assault, that's what the father was charged with. The max for that sexual assault, not unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor.
Right.
The max for sexual assault is 8 years. And of course, by law, there's a 1/3 reduction for early guilty pleas. And they have to take into account whether you have any prior convictions.
How
And all
early
those,
is early?
Well, he didn't. He went to trial, but
Right.
early in the trial, he said, "Yeah, I did it."
Right. So he pled guilty, not guilty initially?
I assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when once his teenage daughter took the stand, then he was like, yeah. So this is why he got 5 years for whatever he did to his twin 3-year-old daughters.
Right.
Bound by laws. So this is the point we're making. Knowing this now, what will our lawmakers do? Unless we are satisfied that 8 years maximum is good enough for sexual assault. Again, that appears with this is the charge. It seems when there is no penetration,
Right.
no intercourse.
Right. But then we also must tackle the issue of stackable charges that don't run concurrently.
That's the other thing, which we've been talking about for years. Why are these sentences running concurrently? Wayne Monroe was on the show recently saying that's just what they do. It doesn't have to be like this, right? And if it is part of the law, then perhaps that needs to change. No, not perhaps. That needs to change. We need to have these able to run consecutively. It can be up to the discretion of the judge, and the prosecutors should be able to recommend that.
Right.
But let that discretion be there that these should run consecutively. So that, fine, you only got 3 years for this charge, but you were also charged with that. And that will run after you do these 3. And then these 3, and these 3. So that it adds up to be 20, 25. I don't know.
Right.
But concurrent sentencing, it's madness. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense what's going on here.
Yeah.
We hear people in other jurisdictions getting 5 consecutive life sentences.
Right.
So there's no doubt that you aren't getting out.
Yep.
All right, so let's read some of these messages before we move on. This person says here, okay, no, I don't want to read that. One of the concerns that I have, that one of the reasons why I left teaching, I think they're saying, this is this case that's in the paper today about a teacher accused of indecently assaulting a student, touching the student's butt. Not saying the teacher didn't do it, but a lot of these kids are dreadful young monsters. They will lie. Others will lie with them or for them and laugh about it. And unlike women, for a man, those lies by anyone, but especially minors, can take everything from you. I don't know if it matters. I mean, I think I get what you're saying, but it depends on what the lie is. Lies can always be damaging.
Yes.
Yes, no matter what your gender is.
Or age. Age and gender.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, that's for another topic. Dwight, not sure if you're able to discuss this, but a lot of people are speculating about exactly what the father did to his 3-year-old twins. What is the official or documented information, not the charge, because the sexual assault charges are vague and now being interpreted as different things. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Go back, read the story. It says what it says.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to know.
And in this story today in the Tribune, the director of public prosecutions is telling you that there was no evidence of any penetration.
Right.
So, again, the teenage daughter saw him naked near the table, near one of the daughters. Right.
Right.
It wasn't good. I don't think you need to know anything more than that. It's not a good thing. Not a good thing. This is the #1 song for the decade. Oh, that we just played. Play it again, please. Okay. All right. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay.
Yeah, same to you.
There you go. It's a pretty cool song. #1 right now on Billboard.
This one. Yeah.
Yeah. Dwight, do you vote? Because I hope you know that you too are part of the problem. Well, yeah, I've voted for quite a few duds. That's true. But as I told you a couple days ago, I actually don't think I've ever voted for the same person twice. Sometimes the people that I voted for didn't run again, but also I just never had the opportunity, and I did move. But
did you end up voting for the same party twice?
Yes, I've done that before.
Right.
So you say that's
all that matters.
Consecutively, though?
Not right. Maybe not.
I think I've only done that once. Vote for the same party consecutively.
But
I'm one of them flip-flopper people.
But you can't say you're part of the problem, though.
I'm not. We are all part of the problem. We are all, but less so some of us than others. But I tell you, if you really think your MP is lousy and you put them back,
They was voting for the MPA.
I noticed. Well, whatever it was, like you think this person is terrible. You voted for them in 2002. They didn't do anything. You voted them out in 2007, but you put them back in 2012. You think they changed? It's weird. It's very weird.
At some point, you only had the Tweedles to choose from, though.
But then, like I tell you got to do something else. There's often always a third option. Or you when others proposed it to you, you laughed and scoffed at them, but write in something. Or spoil the ballot. Do something. There's a protest. All of these suck. Write that down. None of these clowns. Never.
But then who will know that you did that?
We didn't get those numbers for the last election, which was hurtful.
The spoiled
but they're
ballots.
supposed to tell you those things, right?
How many spoiled? Didn't they not? They didn't?
I don't recall. You normally do get that information. This
Yeah.
last election was a disaster. But you normally do
And there
get
was
that
a spoil your
information.
ballot campaign last election, right?
Not as big as the one before.
Oh.
But they go on and say, number 2, what sensible choices do we, the electorate, have? 3, the right-thinking citizens who mean this country well are not interested in serving. That might be true. And 4, please tell this government to fix the laws and fix the hospital. Stop making money on our misery. Oh, boy. Yeah, it's rough. Lots of people explaining to us what FAFO is. Again, Chester and I have never heard it put in those terms.
No.
People just
I've seen it laid all the way out.
Right. You just generally say it. There's no reason to abbreviate it. That totally
Or you just
diminishes
censor the one
effectiveness.
word.
Right. The big word,
Yeah.
you that there, but you don't need to, you really, what it's like for kids now, if you put it like that. Come out and say it.
Yeah.
But right. But thank you all, so many of you who texted in to educate us on this. Wow. This is powerful. Powerful stuff.
Yeah.
The people looking to keep us up to date on the hot slang.
I've seen it spelled out all over. I've never seen FAFO
Never.
until today.
And we do again, do you all say FAFO? Or is it just
I don't think they say
FAFO? Okay. Yeah. Well, this person says here, as usual, the sad and crazy part about this guy messing with his young daughter. This has been going on in the Bahamas. It has been going, yes. It's just now being exposed. I don't think it's just now being exposed. We've known about this from as long as I've been a kid. You've heard these stories. I think in the past, and you were talking about this earlier, I think in the past, this wouldn't have been the topic of conversation as much on some of the previous, before Guardian Radio.
Right.
The talk shows, plenty of people wouldn't have spent as much time as we do on an issue like this. I'm not trying to knock old style talk shows from before 2012, but I mean, it was pretty much politics or the worst incident of the day. And I think that's why it seems like it's happening a lot. But
but even in my almost decade with you, I think
feels
in
like
the
it's-
last 12 months it's been a lot.
In the last 12 months.
Coming up.
I also have been moving away from the petty, silly politics stuff. It's really boring me entirely, and I'd focus more on the issues with the social stuff.
I don't mean that we've talked about it on the radio, just that it's been in the news.
Yeah.
These incidents have been in the news a lot, to me.
I don't think it's any more than usual.
Than
We
usual?
could talk to
Yeah.
our court reporters and
Yeah,
find
maybe.
out.
I don't know.
I think it's been this much.
But
always.
like I was telling you off air, I covered one when I was at the Tribune.
And that was a long
years
time
ago,
ago, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah,
My grandfather. Yeah.
It's been happening, and I don't. Sadly, not this isn't changing.
Yeah,
it's very sad. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, Dwight, how you doing?
Doing well.
Question: where's the mother for these kids?
We're all wondering. I don't know. I do not know. Perhaps she is no longer living. I don't know. I'm not sure. Not sure at all. But there's never been any mention.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. That would be good to know. But maybe she's passed on. But boy, we really are hoping that there will be a positive outcome for them. They might be too young to remember this going right. We hope.
Hopefully.
But that teenage daughter,
is
we really feel for her.
Mhm.
This is very, very sad.
Yeah, I hope she gets really good counseling.
Yeah. Dwight, you've let these people fool you into voting. It'll never happen to me. I've never voted. That's what the person's saying there. I mean that.
That kind of doesn't work either.
No, that doesn't at all. I have a question for you. Will the government be removing the tracking number from the ballot for the 2026 general election, as was recommended by the international observers who were observing the last election? My vote cannot be free and fair if they know how I voted. Let's talk about it. Yeah, that's a good question. The other question, as we have brought up recently, is will we still be using our tattered purple voting cards, these ridiculous things? We've had plenty time to fix this, as we have a permanent ballot. What's it called?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, register.
Yeah, register now, permanent voter register.
And don't you still have to bring ID with you too?
Other than the voter's card?
Yeah.
I don't
Wasn't that a thing?
So.
I don't remember.
I don't think so. But I mean, yeah. Plenty questions, and we are getting close.
Yeah.
Why have we made no movement on this? Why? This will be the third time we use those purple. I mean, and more than third if you've had to do by-elections, right?
Yeah,
So this is insane. Insane.
It's not 2020 to 2025 at all.
What is it?
1925.
Oh boy, it certainly doesn't feel like the 21st century.
No,
not at all. My goodness gracious. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, Jeff.
Good morning.
Good morning to the Bahamas.
You sound so somber.
Two things I want to speak on. Elon Musk, they said, gave $1 million to Colony the Bahamas, right? With the landing of these, or donate $1 million?
He's supposed to. SpaceX is supposed to.
And the $15 million for all the time they're going to be landing these drones in the Bahamas waters that JJ was screaming about. There should be much more money that we as Bahamian people benefit from their multi-billion-dollar operations, right? Now, as 52 has been saying to the Dr. Pinto and them from last week, Wednesday, the MRI machines, one of them would cost less than $1 million. You mean to tell me these people couldn't ask for another $1 million to get an MRI machine for the government hospitals? That's one issue. You see how they don't care about us?
I mean, I don't know if that's fair.
How badly they negotiate on our behalf then?
Well, I mean, yeah, it has to be, right? There has to be some equality in it. Is it worth that?
Where is the $15 million? I didn't write it in my story. I don't know if he said it on somebody's station. It ain't. I don't see it in the Tribune story. Where are people getting $15 million from?
Okay, whatever change they're going to donate to the Bahamas, for the Bahamian people to benefit from this big landing of aircraft. How much? 20 landings? Supposed to be?
We're going to talk about that in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So listen
another point.
Yeah.
Another point I want to bring up. Isaac Chester Cooper, the Deputy Prime Minister, he's not an attorney, right?
No.
And the story that came up yesterday about him and the 4 contracts he's supposed to sign with this airport licensing issue. You see what I'm saying? On the Family Islands and what they call this Renaissance airport project. Now, he went to Crocodile on the 19th of December and met with Pittstown. Now, I'm not going to get all into the weeds of it, but I just hope that with that operation that is not approved by civil aviation and operating all these years, that's not one of those because it impacts my personal properties. You all have a nice day.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Yeah.
I hope you get that property thing sorted out.
We've been talking about that for a long time. So we're going to pick this up in our 9 o'clock hour about that and what's happening. So again, it has to. Just because it's a millionaire, billionaire, the richest man in the world, if he's only doing something that is worth this, you can't just expect him to pay off all your debt.
You think
that's not how things work?
You think that donation even crossed his desk? You think he even know that?
But I mean, right? If they were going to build all the rockets,
guarantee you he didn't make that decision.
I could see that perhaps. I mean, it sounds nice. Well, since billionaires here, let them pay off everything, and that's not how it works. And they wouldn't be rich if they were to make such ridiculous deals.
Well, they should start with the ones who already here. Chilling.
And some Bahamians.
And some, oh, you got that right.
Oh, boy. All right. Let's take this call really quickly, and then we're going to have to go to the news. But caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Just it's good wait till you all done to start the business thing, right? But I just want to say, when I listened to your news this morning, Poppy, or when I listened to the news this morning again, it sounded like they ain't say $15 million by 2030. Just it sounded like they say $15 billion. So I ain't sure that's the kind of money, but I think...
No. Space exploration in the world is going to be $14 billion.
You heard what he said just now?
What did he say? Sorry.
Say that again, Josh.
Space exploration is supposed to be valued at $14 billion in the world, not in the Bahamas or in Florida.
Altogether, everywhere.
Correct.
Yeah, so I think they're the kind of money we need to be doing for the Bahamas because, like I said, it's a special place. It's the reason why they pick here. I know they could have gone anywhere else. But what we got to keep in mind, too, we ain't just want that kind of money to pay our bills or to deal with all of our bills and stuff like that because that's a rich man. No, if something go bad, we won't be able to deal with it. You see, they say they give $1 million. I think I make a mistake. It ain't $1 billion what they giving to the University of the Bahamas. It's $1 million. And they supposed to be able to do research and different things, and if something happen and all that stuff. So we ain't trying to take no money from them. We trying to get what we value. That's why we be thinking dumbness or yeah, that somebody getting something under the table. What? Come on.
Okay, I hear you. Thank you very much.
I hope you all say that about the local people who getting plenty money from other local people and donating $1 million to the university.
All right. So before we go to the break, just again, the other big story in the paper today, the Chester Cooper defending the government's tourism efforts as people are raising eyebrows, have been for many years, decades now, about the growing number of cruise passengers, but the not growing number of stopover visitors. Cooper again saying that we need more rooms.
Right.
And that's the reason why. Got a whole lot of Airbnbs. There's a whole lot of other places that people can stay. Is that truly the accurate story?
I'm sure that's part of the
I'm sure it's part of it, yeah. But does that really tell the full tale? As we've been saying, what will people who stay more than a couple nights here, what will they find to do other than what is provided at the big resorts? Especially in New Providence. Well, I mean, it might even be worse on the Family Islands, right? What really is there to do? Do we expect them to be at the beach and snorkeling every single day?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Well, that's why certain companies and people invested in lots of attractions at their one place. So that there's tons of things people do over multiple days.
Yes. But outside of the resorts, do you find those things? And that's a challenge, especially in Freeport and Nassau.
Well, I think he says we have 15,000 rooms in the country. And so
that's not much.
So they represent just about a third. That's about a third of that.
My goodness. So this is what Cooper is saying, and again, in response to what Michael Pintard was saying about more needs to be done, right? So Cooper said yesterday, I have said on numerous occasions that in order to truly advance growth in stopovers, we need more rooms. We are limited in room capacity. Maybe the leader of the opposition can go and invest in some hotels and encourage others if he wishes to be helpful. But I think the government is doing its part. Wow. We've attracted more than $10 billion in investments. Most of it is in the touristic space.
Which, I mean, is true. Rooms are coming.
Yeah.
But the cruise lines, they ain't stopping there. They growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, Carnival with their $300 million port in Grand Bahama, that's going to be a juggernaut when that's finished this year.
Well, we have to continue to have these conversations, right? Until we finally get it. That we have to come up with the attractions and the experiences outside of the resorts. We have to build them, encourage them, create them, whatever it is, right? Look at the other tourism capitals around the world. Look at what they have, what they're offering. And many of those things didn't happen by accident.
Yeah.
They built this monument, and it is now every day attracting thousands.
Yeah.
They do this here, and you can't find it anywhere else. This type of tour, this type of experience. You cannot do that anywhere else. You have to come to that place for it. Can we say the same in the Bahamas?
No. And we constantly kind of destroy the environment that is meant to build those kinds of things up. And we make it very difficult for things to happen. I've been waiting for a month for a response from a government ministry so that I could put a proposal together for something. It's difficult here.
All right, so in our next hour, we're going to be talking about the SpaceX deal. But first, when we get back after the news, we're going to tell you about the HIV Valentine's Day couple testing. Share love, not HIV, this Valentine's Day. That's coming up after the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
You already know what you mean to me, and our love's the only war worth fighting for. Wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Nobody.
With escalating global conflicts, are you ready for what's next? Join us at RF Bahamas Economic Outlook on March 12th at Bahamar, where top global and local experts will break down the key economic, political, and social trends shaping our future. Hear from KT McFarland, former Trump National Security Advisor, and more. Plus, gain CPD credits, powerful insights, and high-impact networking all in one day. Don't miss out. Secure your spot now at rfbeo.com. That's rfbeo.com. RF Bahamas Economic Outlook. See you there.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Are you craving that fresh, famous food, but don't want to break the bank? Wendy's has got you covered. You can now enjoy the $5 Dave's deal at all participating Wendy's locations. Enjoy a Dave's single, a classic, or spicy chicken sandwich made with fresh ingredients for just $5. So don't compromise on flavor just because you're on a budget. Wendy's always offers fresh, famous food at a great price. Certain conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, February 13th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be talking about SpaceX and the partnership with the Bahamas, what this will mean. That's going to be in our second half of the show. But we begin this morning on Valentine's Eve with information about the HIV Valentine's Day couple testing, Share Love Not HIV event promotion, which is today, right? Today. Here to tell us all about this, we're very pleased to welcome from the National HIV/AIDS Program, a prevention educator, Keith Kemp, and from the Bahamas AIDS Foundation, Vice President and Education Committee Chair, Dr. Carleen Smith-McKenzie. Great to have you both with us. Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so this is starting in a few minutes, right?
Yes, at 10 a.m.
All right, so let's get those details out. Then we have a few questions to ask you about testing on a day like the day before Valentine's.
The day before Valentine's.
That's quite something.
Valentine's Day testing is set to start at 10 a.m. today at the Mall of Marathon Center Court, and we will end today at 8 p.m. We'll take the last person at 7:30 p.m. And so our team will be there at the Mall of Marathon Center Court all day today doing free confidential HIV testing, as well as CNCD will also be there doing free health screenings. You can also get your blood pressure taken, glucose level, and cholesterol done at the Mall of Marathon Center Court, with your HIV testing being done at the same time.
You're doing STI testing as well? No,
STI,
just HIV. Okay. So it is a couples promotion. Do you have to be?
No, you don't have to be a couple to be tested. It's just that persons who are couples will be allowed to enter the raffle. Anyone can come down there and be tested, but we're encouraging persons to bring someone, bring a partner, bring a friend, a cousin, a family relative, a coworker, right? And you'll be qualified as a couple as long as you come as two persons. And so we are encouraging persons to come down and get their free confidential HIV test. We're encouraging persons who've been talking to their partner about HIV and want to take the next step in their relationship and knowing the HIV status, come down and get tested. This initiative was drawn on the fact that a lot of times partners would send their partners in to be tested, and based on their partner status, they would say, okay, well, that's just my status too. But that's not necessarily the fact, especially if you're promiscuous. And so we're encouraging persons, don't get second-hand information or second-hand testing. Come down and get tested for yourself. Bring your partner, have a discussion, talk about it, get the first-hand information, know what your vulnerabilities are when it comes to HIV transmission, assess your risk factors, and we'll be there to help you to look at limiting your risk of contracting HIV to the best of our ability.
Well, that partner would still have to be honest and disclose.
Yes. Yeah. Well, our team, we have some experienced counselors there. We can detect when persons are a bit uncomfortable, apprehensive giving information. And at that particular point in time, we try to do persons counseling separately, just to get a bit more information so persons can feel comfortable in terms of taking HIV testing. We don't give the results together.
Right.
When you leave your post-test counselors, if you decide to share your results with your partner, that's up to you. But we don't do those results with each person sitting next to each other. But we do encourage them to come in and get tested and have a discussion after the testing is over.
When you go today, you can get your results today.
Yes, we're doing rapid HIV testing today at the Mall of Marathon. After you get your finger prick, your results will be read in 15 to 20 minutes. Okay? And so the rapid HIV testing result is 99% accurate. And so persons can rest assured that they're going to get the best test results when it comes to rapid HIV testing through the Bahamas National AIDS Program, Ministry of Health and Wellness. And again, the testing is done absolutely free of charge.
Yeah. All right, so I'm sure people are wondering, how confidential can it be if you're doing it at the Mall Marathon and then people can see that you have gone for that counseling in the back or wherever you do it? How can you rest assured that your business will stay your business?
Very confidential. And in our post-test counseling section where you get your results back, all of the counselors there are experienced counselors. And so they have been there some 10, 20 years. So they know just how to handle and giving test results. We do it very professionally, very discreetly when it comes to giving persons back the HIV status. Now, we are not responsible for controlling persons' outbursts in terms of, people get excited when they hear the negative results. Some people, even though they know they're negative, they still have this fear in taking the test. And so when they hear it, they're but for the most part, we when it comes to ensuring persons' information is not given to anyone or is not leaked to anyone, once those test results go to the post-test counselors, the post-test consul secure those results and take them back to the office, and that's the end of that.
Okay, all right.
I imagine you don't have to accept the counseling right there and then. It's all, I mean.
Well, the testing is voluntary.
Right. Yeah.
And even, again, if you come to the post-test counseling desk and we have your results ready, and you say to us you do not want to know your results, then we won't be able to give you a result.
Okay.
So again, you can opt out of testing at any time because it's voluntary.
Right.
We want persons to have that comfortability to know that they have those choices when it comes to HIV testing. You can sit in the chair and decide, I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah.
We will not force anyone to do an HIV test or coerce anyone to do an HIV test. We want you to feel as comfortable as possible in knowing your HIV results.
So you can opt to have your results sent to you
Well,
at
not
a later
sent.
time?
Not sent. You have to come back in person and get your results. Yes.
Okay, all right. So Dr. Carlene Smith-McKenzie, we've been doing a Know Your Status campaign for quite a while now. Are you seeing numbers increase? Are people coming out, getting tested more frequently? What are we noticing?
Yeah, so with the HIV/AIDS epidemic, we're seeing that we're having decreased infections throughout the country. We've had decreased AIDS-related deaths, and we've had no mother-to-child transmission of HIV. And that's one of the big things for the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. As you may know, we had a program for children infected and affected with HIV, and this was for a lot of, back in the day, we had persons who were dying from AIDS,
Right.
and these were their children, and now their children are having children, and they are the children who we are supporting now. And those children are not positive children, but just by the means of their parents being infected, we are assisting them. So we have come really far with the promotions due to the work of the National AIDS Program with their community initiatives. This has really been brought to the fore for us, and we know that persons are embracing the testing initiative.
Yeah.
And so we're hoping that a lot of persons will come this evening, this afternoon, today, to the Mall at Marathon for our couples giveaway.
Yeah.
The AIDS Foundation is instrumental in this year because we are supporting the prizes. We have some great prizes for persons if you enter the raffle. Firstly, we have a gift certificate from Windermere, Green Parrots, and Poseidon's Table at Atlantis. And so you will have a chance.
You can use this on Valentine's Day?
It might be too soon,
Okay.
but you can use it in the future.
Right.
But it's just an incentive for you to come out and get tested.
Yes.
We want to dispel the stigma, the discrimination that people feel when they go to such events. And so we hope that you would come and embrace what we have to offer today.
Yeah.
Just to back up what Dr. Smith has said, I just want to give you some of our statistics, our latest statistics when it comes to HIV. The Bahamas is approximately 4,098 persons living with HIV at the end of 2023, representing a HIV prevalence of 1% here in the Bahamas. Newly reported HIV diagnosis decreased by 53%. Between 2014 from 275 and in 2023 to 130. The total number of HIV positive persons on treatment more than doubles from 1,043 in 2012 to 2,831 in 2023. And AIDS-related deaths reported to the Ministry of Health decreased by 48% from 117 in 2014 to 61 in 2023. No case of mother-to-child transmission, HIV transmission were reported or observed in 2023. And so you can see that the numbers are trending in a positive direction, and we want to keep them going in this direction as we look to reaching our goals for our 2030 goals, which was zero HIV transmission, zero HIV infection by 2030. And so we're working hard to do this. And
You said 1%. It's only 1% of the population.
Yes.
So, I mean, just a few years ago, that goal, the 2030 goal, just seemed like just a dream.
Yeah.
How? But it really does seem like it is possible. Wow.
We continue education, continue initiatives like this one today, taking them in the community. And even while we're talking, I want to encourage persons, HIV testing is free and it's open to the public. And we're encouraging corporate partners to come on board to assist in HIV testing, whether you have a big establishment where you have employees and you want your employees to be exposed to free HIV testing. We'll come into your organization and test persons. Whether you run a community organization and you have a lot of persons in the community who access your organization, give us a call, 604-9068, again, 604-9068, and we can partner with you and your community initiative to do HIV testing. If you're doing a health fair or any type of community event and you want HIV testing to be a part of your event, please give us a call at 604-9068. By your partnership, it helps to get the information out there, get more people tested. The more people tested, the more they have access to the information. The more information they have, the more power they have to be able to continue to ensure that they keep the HIV status negative.
Absolutely. So, Keith, Dr. Carleen, if you are in a relationship and your girlfriend, your boyfriend doesn't want to get tested, you keep trying to get them to do it, but they keep resisting, what would you say to that person today? What can be done?
Well, first of all, that's an alarm. You should really have come by our moment when your partner does not want to come in and get an HIV test. Okay, especially when you, the individual, feels that there is something going on with your partner. Okay, it's important that we encourage persons. First of all, your sexual health is your responsibility, not your partner's. And you have to do everything in your powers to make sure that you protect yourself and protect your health. And if your partner cares for you and they love you, they would do everything in their powers to make you feel comfortable in ensuring your sexual health and ensuring their sexual health all at the same time too. And so if you're having a discussion with your partner, they're fair coming in for HIV testing. Again, I don't tell you to leave your partner, but I tell you to put all measures in place to ensure that you protect yourself. And there are enough contraceptives on the market in which you can use and tell your partner is comfortable in coming in to get an HIV test. Or if you're a female, the power of closing shop is a very serious power. That can persuade anyone to do almost anything, all right? And so we want to encourage persons to do whatever you can to ensure that you protect yourself first, and then also protect your partner. That's why the theme for this year of Valentine's Day is share love, not HIV.
Yeah, wow. This test is asking how many couples actually show up for things like this. This is not it's the first time you've done a couples testing?
No.
You get a good response usually?
Yeah, I think last year we had between 60 to 80 couples that came in.
Oh, wow.
That's
pretty good.
Yes, and so we tend to get good numbers when it comes to our couples HIV testing. And so we want to supersede that number this year. And so persons, we encourage them, please, to come in, enter the raffle. Dr. Smith talked about the drawing, and that's going to be done at the end of the testing. And you have dinner for two at Poseidon's table, dinner for two at Green Parrots, and you have a spa treatment at Windermere for two. And so once you bring your partner, you guys come in, get tested, enter the raffle, and you have the opportunity to also have something extra to come with your HIV results with. And again, you can get your glucose done, you can get your cholesterol done, high blood pressure done, all at the same time.
Wow.
And partners doesn't have to be a male, female.
Yes.
Your mother.
Yes.
Your sister.
Family,
Best friend,
relatives. Co-worker.
Yes.
Yeah.
So any type of partners, we want you to be there.
Any STI testing? You said not for this event today, but if you want couples STI testing.
Again, the Bahamas National AIDS program has now emerged. We are now the infectious disease program. And under infectious disease, under the direction of our director, Dr. Nakia Forbes, STI does come under infectious disease. And so if you want additional STI screening, you can call 604-9060. Again, 604-9060, and ask for an STI nurse, and they'll put you onto the STI department, and they would be able to direct you that you can get further testing for other sexually transmitted infection.
Okay.
And so STI screening is available, but it's something that you will have to call, make an appointment, and come in and get your STI screening, and the nurses will be definitely able to take your information and set you up to get additional screening.
Okay, wonderful. So remind people about today, what time, when and until what time this evening?
Good. So the HIV Valentine's Day testing takes place today, beginning at 10 a.m. So just a few minutes, we're going to get started. And we end at 8 p.m., taking our last person at 7:30 p.m. We don't have a lunch break, and so you can come in your lunchtime, you come there after school, during your school pickup, Just come out, bring your partner, get tested, know your status, and have a safe, productive Valentine's Day. I also want to mention this morning. I learned from one of the other stations this morning. Today is also International Condoms Day.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's
very, very interesting fact. And so we also want to encourage persons during International Condoms Day, couldn't let it pass, by saying, make sure when you use protection consistently, use it correctly. We always educate persons. A lot of men do not know how to use a condom. A condom is always supposed to be stored in a cool, dry room until the time of use, preferably an air-conditioned room or refrigerator. When you put your condom in your wallet or your glove compartment, the value of the condom begins to depreciate because it begins to melt under the heat, okay? We also encourage persons not to use two condoms. When rubber meets rubber, causes friction causes heat, and causes the condom to burst during sexual activity.
Wow.
And another important fact is condoms do not protect you against all sexually transmitted infections. Condoms do not protect you against syphilis and chlamydia, which are passed on through by skin to skin. And so a very important factor for you to know when it comes to the use of protection.
Okay, wow. And again, free testing is available year-round.
Yes,
If you
and
cannot
free
make it
condoms
today.
available today too. If you cannot make it today, again, we do have other places you can get testing. Again, you can get testing at our main office on Rosetta Street. It's the former Canadian Insurance Building where we are now. You can get testing there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday between the hours of 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. Also, you can go down to our Victoria Gardens location where our reference lab is still there. Next to Zion Baptist Church, the reference lab is still there. And they do testing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday between the hours of 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. You can get free testing done there as well.
Okay, wonderful stuff. Great initiative that you're having today, and you could even possibly win some prizes. The HIV Valentine's Day couples testing, Share Love, Not HIV, starting at 10 o'clock at the Mall Marathon.
Yes, 10 o'clock.
Keith Kemp and Dr. Carlene Smith-McKenzie, thank you so much for being here this morning. Keep up the great work that you all are doing at the HIV/AIDS program and at the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. And happy Valentine's Day to both of you. We'll be back with more Morning Blend business in just a bit. This is Guardian Radio 96.9.
Understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Dominica Republic, destination for the team. When an all-expense paid trip for 2 by signing 3. Or more money transfers to enter, what a deal. With Western Union, you get to see just how it feels. Yeah. Esto está caliente. De baridas, really hard to Hola, hola from the DR. Taking pictures for the gram just to show you we are. GK money be the motion, papi mamacita. Go to Chris Kennedy, the team is ready to start because Dominica Republic, destination for the team. With an all-expense paid trip for 2 by signing 3. Or more money transfers to enter, what a deal. With Western Union, you get to see just how it feels, yeah. To see just how it feels, yeah. With Western Union.
Are you ready to break up with your car? Easy Car Sales invites you to fall in love with an electric vehicle. Ditch the gas pump, the expensive mechanics. Feel the freedom, the power. Visit easy242.com and make a date to test drive an electric vehicle today. Get into a better relationship. Find your perfect match at Easy Car Sales and drive electric happily ever after.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you. Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
You work hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by investing in CFAL's Bahamian dollar and US dollar mutual funds, each tailored to match your unique investment profile. Our expert advisors are dedicated to crafting personalized investment strategies to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't miss out on the chance to earn higher returns on your hard-earned money. Join the thousands of investors who trust CFAL and start your journey toward financial freedom today. Visit us at cfal.com to learn more about our saving and investment options. And let us help you build wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from around the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
With escalating global conflicts, are you ready for what's next? Join us at RF Bahamas Economic Outlook on March 12th at Bahamar, where top global and local experts will break down the key economic, political, and social trends shaping our future. Hear from Admiral Mike Rogers, former head of U.S. Cyber Command, and more. Plus, gain CPD credits, powerful insights, and high-impact networking all in one day. Don't miss out. Secure your spot now at rfbeo.com. That's rfbeo.com. RF Bahamas Economic Outlook. See you there.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Royal Caribbean International has started the request for proposals process for Bahamian entrepreneurs to participate in the development of the Royal Beach Club on Paradise Island. RCA in a press release saying that the company is marking the next phase in the development of the 17-acre Royal Beach Club with an open call for Bahamian businesses to submit proposals to become part of the experience. From landscaping to medical services, the vacation industry leader has begun opening dozens of requests for proposals. Philip Simon, president of Royal Caribbean Bahamas, saying, quote, "Our call for proposals from Bahamian businesses and artisans is a crucial next step in the Royal Beach Club's development and ultimate success." You can read more in today's Guardian Business section. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation Chester Cooper revealing that the government is preparing to sign agreements for the management of 4 airports. Cooper making the announcement at the Roots Americas conference at Paradise Island. While he said he could not give more information about the upcoming agreements just yet, he said his ministry plans to hold a press conference to update the Bahamian people on the progress of the $300 million Family Island Airport Renaissance project. The Rosewood development slated for Sampson Key in the Exumas is continuing through its approval process, including the workup of its environmental impact assessment. Tourism Minister Cooper making that announcement. Meanwhile, Felipe McLean, the principal of Integra Group, the developer of that project, releasing a video explaining that the group received a letter of no objection to its commercial dock, and that over the next couple of weeks, Exumians will see heavy equipment on the island and work begin on the project. Overseas, U.S. President Donald Trump saying today that he's announcing increases on U.S. tariffs to match the tax rates that other countries charge on imports. Trump posted on his social media site, Truth Social, quote, "Today is the big one. Reciprocal tariffs make America great again." Trump later posted that there would be a news conference in the Oval Office on the tariffs Thursday afternoon, raising questions about whether he's formally signing the tariffs, as he previously said he would, or simply making the broader case for them to U.S. voters with plans to study and formulate a detailed set of policies. The prospect of a dramatic hike on tariffs could send shockwaves throughout the world economy, possibly depressing growth while also causing inflation to intensify. Trump has maintained that such tariffs will help to create domestic factory jobs, but most economists say they would effectively be a tax increase on U.S. consumers that would add to inflationary pressures. The president has openly antagonized multiple U.S. trading partners over the past several weeks, levying tariff threats and inviting them to retaliate with import taxes of their own that could send the economy hurtling into a trade war. And Elon Musk calling for the United States to delete entire agencies today from the federal government as part of his push under Donald Trump to radically cut spending and restructure its priorities. Musk offering a wide-ranging survey via video call to the World Government Summit in Dubai. He's describing the priorities of the Trump administration interspersed with multiple references to thermonuclear warfare and the possible dangers of artificial intelligence. Musk, wearing a black t-shirt that read tech support, said, quote, "We really have here rule of the bureaucracy as opposed to the rule of the people, democracy." He also joked that he was the White House tech support, borrowing from his profile on the social platform X, which he owns. While Musk has spoken to the summit in the past, his appearance Thursday comes as he's consolidated control over large swaths of the government with Trump's blessing since assuming leadership of the Department of Governmental Efficiency, including sidelining career officials, gaining access to sensitive databases, and inviting a constitutional clash over the limits of presidential authority. And the British economy managing to eke out a quarterly growth of 0.1% in the final quarter of 2024, following a stronger than anticipated performance in December. The Office for National Statistics today saying that the 0.4% expansion in December was a result of broad-based expansion, with pubs doing particularly well in the run-up to Christmas. The fourth quarter figures means the economy grew by 0.9% overall last year. The quarterly increase followed no growth in the previous 3 months and may ease some pressure on the Treasury Chief, Rachel Reeves, who critics say has been partly responsible for the economic slowdown since the Labour Party returned to power in July. Last week, the Bank of England halved its growth forecast for the British economy for 2025 to 0.75% as it cut its main interest rate to 4.5%. If that turns out to be remotely accurate, it'll be hugely disappointing news for the UK's new Labour government, which has made growth its top mission. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Wednesday, your market movers, Consolidated Water, down 5 cents, closing at 5.29. Emira Incorporated up 5 cents, closing at 9.56. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 3,096.36, unchanged. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
basket you carry. If you go, I'm going too. 'Cause it was always you. And if I'm turning blue, please don't save me. Nothing left to lose without my baby. Birds of a feather, we should stick together. I know I said I'd never think I wasn't better alone. Can't change the weather, might not be forever, but if it's forever, it's even better. And I don't know why.
We are back with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. And we've been touching on it briefly, but let's get into it now. SpaceX and the Bahamas finalizing their partnership for booster landing. Our very own Chester Robards covering this in today's NASA Guardian. If the weather holds up, the Bahamas and SpaceX will make history next week when SpaceX lands its Falcon 9 first stage booster on its drone ship in Bahamian waters. The first of 20 landings planned for this year, with the landmark landing fee framework put in place. For more on this, there was a big press conference that was yesterday. Take a listen to this report from our Vonique Toot.
On February 18th, the SpaceX Falcon 9 booster will make its first Bahamian landing in the Exumas, giving millions of viewers a front row seat to history. Vice President of Launch for SpaceX, Kiko Donchev, says this is the first time that Falcon 9 will land in international waters. He added they have performed such landings over 400 times, stressing it is a reliable process and they will not fly until they are ready.
The first stage is the object that will effectively rotate. It'll drop the second stage off, it'll rotate, and then it'll make its way down to the drone ship, which is where it'll land in the Exumas. We've done these landings many times, almost 408 times at this point. So over 400 times, some on land, some on those drone ships. So it's an extremely reliable process. The only rocket that lands like this. And then the fairings itself will also fall under parachute into the ocean, where they'll be picked up by a support vessel that we have. Also, this is a process we've done many times. We fly right now roughly every 2 days. So even in the last 10 days, we had a launch yesterday, we had a launch 3 days before. We're running this exact same sequence.
Falcon 9 will launch from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. 8 minutes after takeoff, the booster will land on SpaceX's autonomous drone ship stationed off the coast of the Exumas. It can be witnessed on the Tourism Today website and SpaceX channel. The tugboat will be in 3,000 feet of water, while non-motorized fairings will descend into Bahamian waters via parachute. Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper says safety is a priority, adding precautions have been taken to safeguard Bahamian waters and marine resources.
The entire process adheres to environmental safety's best practices while placing the Bahamas at the forefront of space exploration. Our government agencies over the past 2 years have been engaged. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Bahamas Air Navigation Services Authority, the Bahamas Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Bahamas, and the Port Department are working closely with SpaceX to ensure secure and regulated landings.
Cooper added space tourism is projected to exceed $14 billion by the year 2030, and the Bahamas will secure its place in the sector with additional landings planned.
The Bahamas is now at the center of this movement, with 20 landings scheduled this year, subject to regulatory approvals. Visitors will not only enjoy our pristine shores, but witness history in real time. No other place on Earth offers this combination of paradise and space exploration. Rocket booster landings will generate fresh economic activity, attracting more travelers, securing more heads in beds, boosting local businesses, and introducing new experiences, for example, yacht excursions, to watch rocket landings.
Cooper says SpaceX will also donate $1 million to the University of the Bahamas. Director of the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, Dr. Rhiannon Neely, says they will be conducting environmental monitoring during and after the event.
Rocket is expected to be returning in Bahamian waters with anywhere between 250 and 350 gallons of jet fuel. Also, it will have on board nitrogen, which is an atmospheric component, and oxygen. So if there is a mishap, God forbid something happens, we will be working with 250 to 350 gallons of fuel, depending on the weather of the day. And we will have appropriate vessels in the area ready and able to respond to any such thing if it does occur.
And what will the landing sound like?
We will expect to hear sounds. So within 10 nautical miles, it is expected that anyone within 10 nautical miles, which should be no one, of the impact of the return location, will hear something of 2 gunshots. As we move further out, 17 nautical miles, some of the viewing ships will be in that area. You will hear what sounds like 2 claps of thunder. And as you move further and further beyond, of course, the sound is going to get less and less.
Bahamian aerospace engineer Aisha Bo, who has been engaged as a consultant, called it an historic moment.
This is not a rocket landing. It's about opening the door to a multi-billion-dollar space industry that will create new opportunities for tourism, technology, and investment. By 2030, space tourism alone is expected to reach $14 billion. And right now, every year, over 1.5 million people visit Florida's Space Coast to witness launches. Now, for the first time, those very same people can come to the Bahamas to witness landings.
Meanwhile, U.S. Charge d'Affaires Kim Furnish said the first Bahamian landing highlights the strong relationship between the U.S. and the Bahamas.
The U.S. government, inclusive of our FAA colleagues, worked with the Bahamas Civil Aviation Administration and government ministries to protect national interests while enabling this growth in the space industry. The cooperation serves as a model for other sectors. The rapid expansion of the space industry is evident not only in financial investments, but also in the number of satellites. The Satellite Industry Association estimates that up to 110,000 new satellites could be in orbit by 2030. This presents opportunities for projects like SpaceX's Starlink and other companies, including those in the Bahamas, to access mobile broadband and other space-based technologies.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Vwani Tood.
Okay. So, hey, interesting stuff.
So let me make a correction. So space tourism by 20, whatever he said, it will be worth 14 billion. But the space industry itself is huge, way bigger than that.
Right.
There's close to $1 trillion, half $1 billion.
Yes, and that would include people going into space and
tourism,
potentially-
right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
But
So you got all those
is-
guys, Virgin Galactic, and
Yes, lots of people
Jeff
in that
Bezos with
space. Pardon the pun.
Blue Origin
At the moment, right? Yeah. All
So
the
we're a
guys.
small little part of space tourism now.
Because, as the minister said, some people will want to get on a boat and get close to see this.
Yeah. Which they do now anyway.
And this.
Well, the point was and the point Aisha made was that 1.5 million people go to Cape Canaveral to watch rockets
true.
take off.
Still, yes.
And that's been happening
From
forever.
the 60s.
Right,
Yeah,
from the 60s.
70s.
And people are still amazed by
70s,
it.
yeah.
But now this is kind of the first time in the last few years that that rockets have been landing themselves. That hasn't happened.
And there's nobody on this. And it's not
Right.
And what are the Falcon 9s used for? What do they do? Just
I hope some of the people who complaining have Starlink, because that's how your internet satellites get up there.
Okay. Well, so there you have it. So let's get your reaction to it, folks. Some of you were already giving us your views earlier. It seems, and it's based on the comments on our social media sites, the National Guardian Facebook pages, and some people were expecting more from this. I'm not sure why they were.
Yeah.
But
you
our
said
role
why.
is very
We heard
minuscule
why.
in this. We very minuscule in this. Or because so many people are coming to look at. Okay, sure.
No. Because a billionaire owns the company.
Right. I said that off air. That
Right.
yes, because he's so vocal and has so much to say, and is people were expecting. And I think people need to separate that his companies from his wealth. Right. You're looking at this in the perhaps the wrong way.
Elon Musk is also not a rocket scientist. He hasn't built the systems. He don't run the systems. He just owns the company.
So our role is very minuscule. Doesn't require anybody here to do anything much. So the weird talk that I'm hearing already about where all the other money going, why only 1 million for UB? It's very unusual. But the bigger picture is that
It's not unusual.
Well, okay. What's a better word to
So-
use? It's
ridiculous.
puzzling.
It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Fine, if you want to use that. This texter actually, and I know this is going to insult a lot of people, but I agree with this text. Please tell everyone, pay our taxes and stop behaving like beggars.
I like it.
Now, if you want a bigger piece of the space tourism pie, well, then maybe build a rocket and launch it and do some things, right? If that's what you want. There's plenty of islands you could launch it from,
Absolutely.
behaving people.
Yeah.
But for someone to land their unmanned drone, essentially, on their own boat in the water, what you doing? You ain't got nothing really to do with that. It's nice, and it may attract some people to come sailing.
So you see what you see. You're right. Well, what you see a lot online, because I've read a lot of the comments on the Tribune's page and the Guardian's page. People talking about environmental issues, and of course, you should be concerned about whatever
Absolutely.
environmental issues might arise from something like this. But you heard Dr. Rihanna Neely's voice on that package
clip there,
that was put together. And they're going to monitor it, as well as they have a separate company that's doing monitoring for it. And every single landing has to have its own separate environmental monitoring. So each time they're going to land a rocket, there's another environmental study that has to be done. Each time.
Okay.
For them to get a green light to do it.
Yeah. Let's take this call, and then we've got a few text messages here. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Dwight, it's always a pleasure to hear you. But if I'm not mistaken, Dwight, I think I overheard you said just now that you intend on applying for one of the landings. Since we now have forecast that there's up to 20 available, whether your rocket is made in a science lab or in the back of your yard or whatever, at least let us know what the process is to apply for one of the landings or so, Dwight. I mean, he ain't saying that we ain't got no rocket money. You don't know who. I mean, you might put our ASU draw together, Dwight, and decide that we want to do rocket tourism or space tourism or something like that. I'm just saying. Lay it out so we can access it too, Dwight.
Yeah, but you got to go build your own drone ship. They landing on their own ship.
I'm saying building our own drone. We don't want to invest all this. We don't want to turn our Junkanoo shack into a rocket building shack, right? And then after we done do all that work, then me and Dwight stuck with our ASU draw and spend our ASU draw, and we can't access the license or one of the landings that's 19 out of the 20.
Well, hey.
Since one coming up. That's what I said.
I hear you, but hey, if the Bahamas doesn't want us, we could always go somewhere else, right? But I hear you. I hear you.
We turn our Junkanoo shack into a space shuttle shack, and then we take our ASU money thing, right? And if the Bahamas is attractive for everywhere else, then it's like cut clear. Then here's the best place, right? Why are we going someplace else? What we're asking for, Dwight, is if we as Bahamians also have access to launch rockets too. That's all we said.
Okay, I'm sure you do. I don't know what but okay. But I hear you. I mean, I don't know if that would come up at the SpaceX Bahamas partnership announcement. But you want to know more information about that.
I don't know who's building a $1 billion company to launch rockets here, but
that's so many.
What are you launching rockets for?
You could use your money for that would be more productive. But hey, this person says, hey, "Good morning. Who's safeguarding marine life?" Well, you know exactly who. This is. Come on now. Nobody can guarantee this until years later, and then it's too late. One of the worst things that happen
What are they talking
right now.
about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Plus, if you check, you'll see Elon Musk has lots of negative publicity these days. Yeah, because he's anyway, because he's a challenging person to deal with.
Yes.
That's why, all on his own. But, will this draw or discourage tourists from coming? You all are just looking for problems. And I don't know what that's about. I really don't understand it.
They could go read too,
Who tourists? The people who are living in the country that he's running? Will that discourage them from coming to the Bahamas because of the rocket? Come on now. He's the de facto president of the United States. Just stop it. Please. You obviously don't. That's dumb.
You know how long this booster is going to burn fuel before it touches down on the drone ship? 20 seconds.
Oh. You sure?
That's typically what it's supposed to do. I mean, if you've read up on it, you could find everything on this rocket online, like a instruction manual on this rocket.
So let me tell you, I said this to you off air. So I suspect this is the problem here. So this is really not a big story, but our people are looking for any type of win and publicity they can get. It is a big story, though. I mean, it's a big story, but it's not like game changing. It's not like
depends on what we do with it.
Change the world.
Depends on what we do with
but
it.
But it's
change our world.
It's a cool story. It's interesting. It's like this will get lots of attention, not just locally but abroad. And so they're looking for wins, and this could be seen as a win. Unfortunately, the Bahamian people are, like we mentioned earlier, Musk is a polarizing figure,
right,
and he's the wealthiest man in the world.
Yeah.
And when you hear paltry numbers like 1 million, then people start to say, we're getting gypped again, if you can say that. You get robbed again, right? We're getting the low end of the stick. The low end. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that is creating a problem there, unfortunately.
Right.
But there really wasn't, I can't imagine much more that we could say we should get from this.
They have to start with using their own common sense about what a richest man in the world's wealth looks like. It don't look like cash. For the most part.
And you just don't throw it around at any old thing.
Yeah, just like the billionaires who live in this country don't throw it at you. They don't. They just find it easier to shop at the food stores.
Sometimes once a year at events where...
Oh, they do. Yeah, you're right. They do throw some at you.
Mm-hmm. Couple messages
in harm form.
T-shirt cannons and stuff. Let's read these before we go. How did the SpaceX arrangement come about? Did the government of the Bahamas approach SpaceX, or did SpaceX approach government? What's the benefit to SpaceX landing the rockets here?
SpaceX, in their explanation, said that if they wanted to fly a southern trajectory, because every trajectory is not the same, to get stuff into space and into orbit, they had to go to California and land and launch from there. And I think that was like most of their stuff happens from Canaveral, and maybe it's more expensive. Overshooting the Bahamas probably was more expensive. So this is about streamlining their business processes.
Okay.
It's easier for them to release the Falcon 9 booster.
So they approached the Bahamas.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah. Okay.
To release the Falcon 9 booster here, easier for them to recover it. Easier to get it, probably cheaper to get it back to Canaveral from the Bahamas.
Sure.
Closer.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. This person says, I don't trust anything Elon does. We will get screwed. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Why are you surprised why Bahamian people love to be mad at other people for their things? I think I botched up their text, by the way. No, we don't need Starlink. All it is an internet service provider, nothing else.
Plenty y'all got it, though. Plenty y'all got it.
Plenty people need it on the Family Islands.
That's true.
Other stuff. Anyway. What's the purpose of that rocket landing here? They need a place to land it. Right. I'm no expert, but I'm 100% sure his little ASU money can't launch no rocket. That's to the caller, I guess. You'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised when
very big ASUs around here. This conversation is out of the world mindless. My joint can't be smoked on space. Trees don't grow there. I assume God does not want me there. LOL. Okay, brain cells were killed just then. I'm looking forward to the rocket landings and the Exumas. At least on the surface, we can see what's happening during the landing. We already have the U.S. Navy operating in the Bahamas and Andros since the 50s.
Yeah, we ain't know what they're doing now.
Where they are testing their underwater nuclear submarines and other top-secret high-tech stuff. We have no idea about that. So this rocket landing is nothing to be concerned about. Bahamians are just jealous haters and hating on Elon. Bahamians need to get a life. Whoa. Okay, that's a lot.
Y'all, them rich people in Life of Key back in the day was fighting each other with U.S. military grade things, sound machines and stuff.
Well, all right.
But y'all is raise up a fuss about the smallest things.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, hey, we're gonna
stop
leave
throwing
that
trash out the window. You worrying about
Someone's
a rocket
about
polluting
the Titan submersible. I guess is saying when will we?
When will we what?
Will we learn? When will the human race learn? Well, again, there's no only AI on the Falcon 9, right? Is there any people at all? Nothing, no people at all.
It's y'all Bahamians who got plastic in the water and in the bushes all over the place. Let's start with us.
Indeed. Chester Robarts, thank you so much for being here this morning. Hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day tomorrow.
I hope you do too.
We're going to have some interesting shows tomorrow for Valentine's Day. You definitely want to tune in to that. It should be great. All right, so that's it for us. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming